Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Darling. As you see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today. We'll be vibing out per usual. On again, this is another episode where it's really just late for no reason. You know, I was just meant to like go on an Animal Crossing episode, and then I was just like, I just kept putting it off, and then just here we are at 10 p.m. Recording it now, but still. I suppose if anything, we're going to be continuing on the conversation of the Venice saga. Conversationally, I don't really have much else to say about it, to be honest, but I did think of a conversation topic yesterday to talk about, which I'll talk about today. It's not like the most pleasant one, It's if anything, is the one bad thing which happened was the fact there was a lot of mosquitoes. And I'll leave you on that cliffhanger as we go. Good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 10:13 p.m. on Tuesday, September 27th, 2022. Sahara's visiting. I would have thought she would have left by now, seeing as it's like 10 p.m, but maybe stays till 5 a.m. I don't really remember. But anyway, what was I going to say about all of this? I don't even. Mosquitoes. Yes, that's right. So basically, in Venice, there is. I mean, it's not that uncommon, but I suppose the UK, if anything, is a little bit of a rarity in the case of there's not really all that many mosquitoes. I was just like, why is that barbecue? And it actually mind-flooded me for a second. I was like, is there a special event which is going on? But yes, in the UK, there's not really all that many mosquitoes. And, well, I'm sure they exist in the UK, but they're not very common. And then, if they do exist, they're not particularly bitey. And I mean, like, the insects and bugs we get in the UK, like, the most annoying one certainly is, like, wasps and bees. Well, okay, I don't want to say bees, because bees aren't annoying, because bees actually have a great purpose. Wasps genuinely are just quite annoying. But you don't really run into any sort of like other quite annoying creatures. Like we don't have any deadly spiders or whatnot. But mosquitoes certainly, I think, quite unanimously across the entire globe, people are very prepared to vote them as probably the most annoying insect. Are they the most deadly? I actually think yes, aren't they? Because they're very like big vectors for malaria, as I understand it. But even that aside, they are incredibly annoying as insects. For one, they make a very like loud, annoying noise, and then two, they also, they bite you, and no one particularly wants to be bitten, or if you want to be bitten, it's normally by like a vampire instead of a mosquito. If you want to have any creature particularly take your blood, I don't know how this joke is going to form my head, but I was like, if you want anyone to take your blood, it's either going to be like a vampire, a nurse, or a mosquito. Those are three things which take blood in your life. It honestly makes no sense. I don't even think there's a punchline there, I'm going to be honest. But yes, so stayed there for 3 nights. That sounds about right. First night, I slept. You were like, I slept in a t-shirt and just like normal pajama trousers, because it's reasonably hot. I'm not going to be like it's scorching. I'm like, wow, I'm going to like cook alive or anything, but it was reasonably hot enough certainly to wear short sleeves for pajamas. But then I woke up the next day and I just like looked at my arms and I was like, oh my god, my arms have been like not completely massacred or anything like that, but I was like, this is a lot of biting. a lot of mosquito bites in my arms, and in fact they're still here, some of them, like to this day. They faded considerably, because I had 2 like on my forearms which became massive, which we'll get onto why they became massive in a second. But I looked at my arms, I had like 8 of them up and down both arms, and I was like, this is ludicrous. So of course the very next day I put on a sweater and went to sleep. I still got bitten. I got bitten once, like on my head, once somehow on my back, which I still don't understand how that even happened. But I also got bitten like on my pinky finger, which I think has stopped swelling, or at least has considerably gone down in size, so it's not really that big a deal now anymore. Well, I mean, I'm looking at it. It certainly does bulge out a little bit more than a finger joint might expect. But I got a bit there. I got a bit on the back of my hand. So just like for the rest of the nights, I just like slept almost with a duvet cover over my head. Not actually over my head, because then it's not like you can't breathe underneath a duvet over your head, but it's quite stifling, I would say. But at least like over my chin. And that sort of thing to sort of like deter any mosquitoes from any exposed flesh. I mean, I still got bit anyway, so if anything, it didn't really work in the end. But yeah, I mean, getting bit by mosquitoes, I don't think getting bit by mosquitoes particularly hurts when I record. And I'll be honest, I don't really know what a mosquito bite particularly feels like. At least I don't know off the top of my head. Not because like mosquito bites don't hurt, but I'm a pretty heavy sleeper. I feel like I don't notice a lot of the time. Like, if I get bitten by a mosquito, I'm not gonna, it's not the sort of thing which would wake me up or anything. Mosquitoes buzzing, you know, every night also don't really wake me up. But they are very annoying to wake up and just see you got mosquito bites, because they are still pretty itchy. Like, I don't find them incredibly itchy, as, you know, I don't have like a compulsion to itch them, but they have a very annoying property, mosquito bites, which is as soon as you like scratch them, like even accidentally, they suddenly just become insanely itchy. But you know, you just got to have a willpower in you to be like, no, I shouldn't itch it, because that's what makes it worse. But so, you know, that's what I generally did, and most of my mosquito bites have gone down considerably. I'm just, you know, and like faded away basically after the first couple of days. And I'm just trying to look, like this one up here on my arm, you can't really see, but there's two of them, which are quite, I would say, like in the middle of my forearm on the other side of my palm. There's one on my left arm, one on my right arm. My right one is like considerably closer to the wrist, which they were normal, just like very tiny bites after the first night. And then on the second day, I wore like this sort of sweater, like this not crop top sweater, but like, you know, almost off shoulder sort of sweater. I'm using the Joy-Con drifty Joy-Cons, which is why I'm like walking around randomly so much. And just like throughout the day, you know, I felt like the mosquito bites were like kind of itchy or something, but I was like, oh, that's just kind of how they are. Until like at some point during like the afternoon or something, you know, I was like, something doesn't feel right about these mosquito bites, and I rolled up the sleeve, and like they were like huge. Like the one on my right arm is the smaller of the two, and I would say, you know, I was gonna estimate how big they are now, how big they were, but I mean, I can't really do how big they were, but I can do how big they are now, because they have like the actual bite part itself, you know, is very small, but then it has like a quite a red area around it, and then they have like a subsidiary larger red area even more around it. The subsidiary larger red area has gone, which I guess was just inflammation, but this thing is, let's see, it's about 2.5 centimeters, so about an inch by, let's see, about 4 centimeters, so about an inch by an inch and a half. Is that how much 4 centimeters is? Yeah, more or less. Weirdly, it's in the shape of like a goldfish or something, so it's it's a bit of a strange thing to see. But that's the smaller of the two. And I looked at it and I was like, whoa, okay, why is this mosquito bite so big? What happened? And then I looked at my other arm and I was like, this one is massive. This one, it's actually mostly faded away, so I can't really see it. But this one ended up being like 5 centimeters, about 2 inches by 4, so about 2 inches by 1.5 inches, which is quite big, you know. It's sort of like if you put your thumb and forefinger together and put it over to make like a little loop thing. That's about as big as it was, you know. It was in fact slightly bigger than that, I think. Which is crazy, and I was just like, whoa, what happened? Why are these mosquito bites so big? Like, what happened? Am I having like an allergic reaction to them? Because as far as I'm aware, I'm not allergic to mosquito bites or anything. You know, I've been bitten by mosquitoes before, and honestly, historically in the past, mosquitoes have been rather uninterested in my blood, because they're quite common in China as well. So every time I go on holiday in China, like some of my family members will get like really bitten by mosquitoes, and I might get bitten, but I would like not really get all that severely bitten. Like I'd have very tiny bites which feel very inconsequential in the end. In fact, they kind of were. I guess we should buy stuff from Sahara. So it very much shocked me, being like, why are my mosquito bites so big? And then I figured out it's because of the material that the jumper I was wearing, it was a sole wool, and I think it was like a wool polyester mix or something. It was actually basically, as I like walked, it moved about and it was scratching these mosquito bites, irritating them even further. So by the time of like wearing it for an entire day, it like super irritated that part, because that's a part of the sleeve where it was the tightest. It gets like looser as it gets closer up to the shoulder. So like super scratched and irritated the heck out of those mosquito bites and made them huge. And I was like, whoa, that's really bad. So you know, I had to roll up my sleeves. And for the other days, I either wore something which had very loose sleeves. What, did I have loose sleeves? What did I wear on my next day? I don't even remember what I wore on my next day, I'm going to be perfectly honest, off the top of my head. But on one of the days, I just wore something sleeveless, because I was like, I don't want, you know, these massive mosquito bites to get even bigger. So I suppose I'm still paying the price of these mosquito bites still persisting on my arm, which is, you know, the consequence of going to a country where they exist, and especially in Venice himself, it being like a river-based city, mosquitoes like tend to lay their eggs, I believe, on rivers, or maybe just moving water, or maybe just water in general, I don't remember. and because of that, they lay their eggs, and I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, there's a decent amount of them in Venice, but Mosquito certainly won that battle. But it was slowed down a lot now, so it wasn't an allergic reaction as far as I could tell. If it was actually an allergic reaction, you would have thought it swelled up a lot more, and every other mosquito bite would have been huge. But I've got one on the back of my hand, which obviously was never irritated because it never touches anything, and it's tiny. It's still there though, because it's like 2 of them in very close succession. I don't know how that happens. I guess mosquitoes sort of like try to drink some of my blood, and went, oh, that's not actually like an artery or vein, and it moves to a different location, like right next to it, to try and get some more blood out. But yeah, mosquitoes, very annoying. But yeah, as I said in the past, like my history of mosquitoes has not been all that annoying. I was particularly blessed with the fact that for whatever reasons, mosquitoes didn't want to drink my blood. And I know that mosquitoes tend to drink blood differently from person to person. It's like they decide things based off like blood type, and like blood composition and sweat composition and other things, and that like the skin might affect, and I don't know, other things which might make you seem more alluring for mosquitoes to bite into. And for whatever reason, just historically, mosquitoes just didn't bite me. But maybe it's just the Chinese mosquitoes which never bit me. The Chinese and Japanese ones. It's like, nah, it's dear darling, her blood, not tasty, and like, it's cheap swell. It's a very strange thing to call your own blood cheap swell. I don't really know if that makes any sense, but I don't know. It's possible certain... I feel like I looked this up before, like certain blood types are more or less popular for mosquitoes to drink. I don't really know why exactly that would even be the case. Maybe they do genuinely have different tastes. I wouldn't be surprised. They do technically have different compositions, right? Because different like antibodies in the blood, right? So maybe the antibodies actually genuinely have a different taste. I have no idea. Vivian's probably going to ask to leave because it's been ages, right? Oh, okay, never mind. Sure, Vivian. We'll visit your home. We'll buy something which is not out of season, but out of style compared to your housing. At some point, we should actually customize our villagers' homes. I forgot about that, but I think we'll just buy the jester outfit. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Even though, as I understand it, the clothes which are displayed are ones which we gave to her. I don't know. What? You found my jester costume. A mere relic of my days on the stage. I assure you. Oh, I could do comedy, tragedy, you name it. I don't suppose I turned down a juicy role even now. That was acting, you see? I had no idea they had commentary about specific types of clothing. That's pretty cool. But we should certainly take the time to actually listen to what Vivian says, rather than just talking over her. It's currently playing KK Cruisin'. No, nothing. Shower? Screen? Bed? Are you gonna say anything? Okay, I'm interested. I want to buy a jester costume, because I don't think you should be wearing this jester costume. So my jester costume stole your heart then? I think I could sell it for something in the neighbourhood of quite a lot of money. But we're going to sell it anyway. That's my mountain. I can't say I certainly appreciate it, but I will appreciate the fact that you wouldn't be one to wear it necessarily. Should I borrow this kitchen and prepare something? I didn't know you could do this. Wait, why is your kitchen out right now? Do you have anything else to say, Vivian? My schedule keeps moving, so it's nice to get a little time at home to unwind like this. I thought if we interacted with furniture items, you'd be like, whoa. Just testing out how comfy your bed is. No, it's just a preparation station. What about your pots and pans? What about your screen door? Anything? Since we have as much time as we want, how about we play a little game, sweetheart? I love games. Can you stay here forever? Does a villager eventually kick you out? Yeah, but genuinely, mosquitoes tend to be rather uninterested in me, but, all things changed in Venice. I don't know what's changed, differently. Well, statistically it's going to be higher, so I guess we'll not fight statistics in this case. So, I don't know exactly why, the Venetian mosquitoes were just like, yo, this blood is lit. I like to think it's not how mosquitoes talk, but whatever. Just as you water a flower to maintain its beauty, so you must moisturise your skin, sweetheart. I don't really pay attention to what you said. Were you surprised to see an imperial passion in my home? I suppose I am too. There's a story, of course, but suffice to say I have a deep attachment to my imperial passion. What about yo loose fall dress? I think I gave this to you actually, Vivian, didn't I? You can't choose your family, but you can choose your furniture, and really that's most important. I wonder how long we can actually stay here. Do you kick us out eventually? I do enjoy hosting at my house. I must say, it's such a relaxing way to get to know someone. My schedule keeps me... Okay, no, I'm just going to keep talking until you say something different. Some people might disagree, but I think wallpaper is back in style. I say we paper all the walls. I'm not sure if it's quite back in style yet, but, you know, hold on to that thought, Vivian. I always sit down at my right-hand table to do my skincare regimen. There's no chair next to it, though. Lining up various products and performing each careful step is meditative for me. Actually, that raises a question of how these Animal Crossing villages actually moisturise. I mean, because it's not like we've got skin, you've got fur. You moisturise your fur? I guess you'd condition your fur? That might make more sense. Lotion your fur? Do you lotion fur? I don't really know. Anyway, thank you for the song. Not that we're gonna do anything with it, particularly because we already have it, but still. Yeah, I don't know, mosquitoes. Real pests. Vectors for disease. So, oh, hello. Oh yeah, I forgot we went to the Wishing Island last night. We should probably check for all these star fragments. We should probably sell some of them. We don't really need as many as we got right now. Why did I... Oh. Drop it. Okay, no. Let's go to Nook's. We'll sell some stuff. I'm trying to think about if I even know anything about mosquitoes. Because we had to learn about them a little bit in GCSE biology, like how they, how malaria gets transported or something between them. Oh, let's not sell that stuff, excuse me. It was something like, isn't it like when they suck your blood? Oh, I'm trying to think. Apologies, a little bit of a pause. What are we selling? We're selling flowers, we're selling random things we don't need in our inventory anymore. What was I talking about? Mosquitoes? I don't really remember what else I was going to say about mosquitoes. Apart from, you know, like... Sorry, another pause, quite a long pause, as we continue talking vaguely about mosquitoes, which I really can't say I know much about. I don't really know what else to particularly say about mosquitoes, you know? What have I said which has not really been said, you know, mosquitoes? Their bites are annoying, they're irritating. They can be very itchy. Please don't, if you get mosquito bites, don't itch them. I don't actually know what the proper way to treat mosquito bites is. I'm going to be perfectly honest, I'm not really like a mosquito expert, you know. I've been a very privileged mosquito existence where I haven't had to deal with them, because I just generally didn't got bitten. Generally didn't got bitten, that's not how you speak. I generally just have not really been bitten. And yeah, as I said, I have heard it's to do with blood type. The thing is, I don't know what my blood type is, you know. All I know is that, like, one of my parents is A, the other one is B. I don't know which way around it is, I'm going to be perfectly honest, but one is A, one is B. And then, so, I think it's possible that I'm blood type O, but I think it's unlikely. I think it's more likely I'm one of A, B, or AB. I don't know if that's true, by the way, you know. You can bust out the Punnett square, perhaps, and actually give me a proper evaluation of that, but I don't really know. But, you know, sweat content and, you know, like blood content or whatever, and you bring up contributions to exactly what the mosquito's taste for your blood is like. Sable? It's a wonder that we started visiting Abel's Sisters, not Abel's Sisters, Bruce's Cafe so late, is we found all these, like, guests we don't normally find. Oh, dear. How lovely to see you here. I think this is the first time I've seen you here. Such lovely weather today, isn't it? Even from the inside of the shop, days like this make my mood brighter. Is it particularly nice weather on Fawnhallow? I don't know. Usually I'm holed up in the store, totally absorbed up in my work, and my sewing machine is all I ever see. But when I come to the cafe, I meet all sorts of folks. Some of them are even wearing clothes from our shop. I did say yesterday I should start, like, trying to do more accents. I don't know what accents Abel would even have. Isn't maybe like a southern drawl? I'm not going to do that. Or I'd be like, that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. I think I understand now what label means about life experience being an importance tailoring or any art. Any art. I can't figure out how to say. I can't figure this out. I guess I'm turning into a Southern Belle. Like, I do declare, you got to get out there and meet the world, right, dear? I don't know. It kind of fits, maybe. Having a cup of coffee. Having a cup of coffee and taking a break after work is one of life's finer pleasures, don't you think? It's good practice, good practice. If you might be sitting there cringing at my accent, in which I can only apologise, but through the practice, eventually I will be able to put off accent. You'll be like, whoa, it's a completely different person speaking, not just Dear Darling over again. When I see 4 leaves, I remember when Mabel was little, and she collect 3 leaves for me. I can't even read now. F sharp, I always have my hands full. I can never really help you. I'm sorry. I feel bad about that. But I'm happy that I get to run. I'm happy that I get to run into your hair and chat like this. You know, there's no way she was intended to have a southern accent, right? Because surely they'd start writing you as yard or yarn and that sort of thing, right? I don't know. I just want a more interesting accent to give to say when I'm able. Oh, well, you know, drop your accent. Who needs it? Get out of it. It's hard to know what to wear when the seasons are changing. Warm one day, cool the next. We tailors have to really use our noggins to know what customers will need. Noggins? Why is noggins a common slang? I hear it in the UK quite often, but maybe it's quite a US thing as well. Boy, it changes more every day, but Bose's coffee is always sure to be delicious. It's nice to know some things will always be there, and will always be good. Oh, you're such a sweetheart, Sable. Mabel comes here in the mornings. I remember when she was younger and hated coffee. Oh, is that meant to be a hint? So Mabel was here before Able Sisters opened. Sable was here after Able Sisters opened. It closes. Kind of like Pelly and Phyllis in the old games. Bring back Pelly and Phyllis. The coffee here gives me the energy I need to push through a day's hard work. What? But you have it after you have it after your shift. Other folks have jobs on this island. I wonder how many of them are like me and get their energy from here. There's not that many who have jobs on this island, you know. It's only the NPCs, the PCs. Sorry, the NPCs who aren't villagers. The villagers just sort of chill about, as far as I can tell. Or I don't know, maybe they work from home. You know, Raymond, he certainly seems like a business type to work from home. Such lovely weather today, isn't it? Nope, hold on. We already said that one. I wonder if she actually comments on weather being bad if the weather is bad. Okay, well, it seems like Sable doesn't have anything else to say. That's great. I had no idea Sable was actually able to visit Brewster's. And for a split second, I was like, we should go look on the wiki and see what other NPCs we can find. But then I was just like, no, you know, let's leave it as nice surprises for when I ever do late night recordings like this again. Where else might you see? Be cool to see like some of the other visitors, you know, like Crazy Red. Although I think Crazy Red never goes away, so along with Flick and CJ, they never leave their posts. Kix might end up there. You know, Kix goes away at like 8 PM or so, doesn't he? I should think who else might. Anyway, we got quite a big river in Fawnhollow, so you know we got mosquitoes abound aplenty. Well, only in summertime, I suppose. Is that thing? Are mosquitoes only active during summertime? That can't be right. Mosquitoes don't hibernate or something. Unless their lifespans are short enough that they just sort of like die off during winter time. That doesn't sound right. Surely they got to exist. They're probably just like inactive or something. Anyway, what other mosquito facts I know? It's always the female mosquitoes which are the ones that actually bite you because they're the only ones with like the proboscis long enough to actually penetrate human skin. The male ones like they live off like leaves and like fruits or something. Read that in one of those old books, the Did You Know series or whatever it's called, which I talked about ages ago. No, it was Questions Kids Ask. That's what the series is called. Sorry, did you? I don't even know what Did You Know series is. It's probably something different. Other mosquito facts I have? Not many. Yeah, honestly, I don't really have mosquito facts. It's not really, you know, it's not my specialist subject. If I went on Mastermind, I would not be able to bring up many answers about mosquitoes if you ask me. I don't even know what types of mosquitoes are out. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I assume there's many types of mosquitoes. There's always like there's always so many different types of insects, which is always mind-boggling to hear about. You'd be like, what? There's like 2,000 different types of like ants or something. You're like, what? I mean, you think about it a bit more, you can like, I guess that makes sense. And then it's like, oh, you know, there's also like 10,000 different types of stick insect, and you're like, what? But not all just sticks. I guess that also makes more sense because, you know, they've got to sort of like look like different types of stick depending on the environment they might live in, maybe. I don't really know if that makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to round off this episode here. So mosquito bites, quite annoying is probably what I'd say. Are there worse insect bites in wild? Insect like attacks in wild? Maybe not, I don't really know. And I can't say I've really been bitten by many other insects. What are insects even bite you? Like ticks, I guess? I don't really know any others, but anyway, I'm going to round off this episode here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, subscriptions, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.